Well, the good news is the U.S. government finally announced a policy that it's going to start taking taxpayer money and reinvesting it in small business. The bad news, those small businesses aren't actually in the U.S. Can't make it up, folks. Hey folks, Mark here with The Rational Workforce. Thanks so much for tuning in. So last night, 60 Minutes aired a broadcast where it did a little bit of investigative research on how the immense amount of money, the billions and billions and billions of dollars that are being sent to Ukraine are actually being used. So we've got a clip here from the official 60 Minutes Twitter account, and let's just listen in a little bit and see what they found out.
American taxpayers are financing more than just weapons. We discovered the US government's buying seeds and fertilizer for Ukrainian farmers and covering the salaries of Ukraine's first responders, all 57,000 of them. That includes the team that trains this rescue dog named Joy to comb through the wreckage of Russian strikes looking for survivors.
Okay, so all of this sounds great, right? Like, regardless of how you feel about the Ukrainian war against Russia, the Ukrainian people are paying a steep price for this, while NATO and everyone else kind of moves their chess pieces across the board. Once again, ordinary citizens are just kind of the grist in the mill. So seeing that not every penny of those dollars are going to just war efforts, munitions, you name it, actually isn't so bad. But let's listen on.
And the US also funds the divers, who we saw clearing unexploded ammunition from the country's rivers to make them safe again for swimming and fishing. Russia's invasion shrank Ukraine's economy by about a third. We were surprised to find that to keep it afloat, the US government is subsidizing small businesses. American taxpayers...
All right, so let's break this down. The US government is funding the salaries for, I believe, 57,000 plus workers in the Ukraine, as well as helping small business growth. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we had maybe a little bit more help directed here in the US? And especially at a time where we're recording this, the cost of money, the cost of small businesses to borrow money from the bank so they can stay afloat or invest in growth is incredibly expensive. The interest rates are through the roof. And when you add to the mix that banks are starting to buckle down and be a little bit more, actually a lot more from what I understand, stringent with their lending standards, it's a little bit of a problem where a lot of US businesses can't even get grants, yet Ukrainian businesses are getting these funds. All right, so let's talk about something else. At the time of recording, there is a looming government shutdown that politicians keep threatening. And if you listen to the saber rattling coming out of DC, this is something that's going to be the end of the world. If we don't allow the government to keep spending like drunken sailors on shore leave, then the world's going to grind to a stop. And of course, it means that folks who are on the government payroll, who are compensated by the government, will not get paid, and cascading other challenges. So you may be wondering, how does a shutdown impact what's going on in the Ukraine? Well, let's check this story out because this is a head scratcher. This is from Politico, so certainly not a right-leaning publication. And they're reporting the Pentagon exempts Ukraine operations from potential government shutdown. The decision means that training on American tactics and equipment can move forward uninterrupted if lawmakers don't reach a funding deal by the end of the month. So there you have it. If the government shuts down, certainly American workers and American government employees are going to be impacted. But all the stuff that 60 Minutes just reported on will keep going on in Ukraine. So, again, if you can, your heart can go out to the Ukrainian people, but if you don't feel like there's something just a little weird going on, there might be something that's worthy of deeper introspection and deeper research, I don't know what to tell you. So whenever stuff like this happens, whenever I hear about things that sound a little too out there, like, nah, this can't be true, I do a little more research and try to look at it from different angles and see what could be going on. Well, this is actually an official announcement from the Friends of the Simon Wiesenthal Center. This is an organization that's dedicated to fighting anti-Semitism, to continuing education around the atrocities of the Holocaust. And after that clip happened and after that gentleman appeared, apparently it's real deal. So the FSWC, Friends of the Simon Wiesenthal Center, is appalled that Canada's parliament gave a standing ovation to a Ukrainian veteran who served in the Nazi military unit during the Second World War, implicated in the mass murder of Jews and others. An apology and an explanation is owed. And over and on top of that, that gentleman appeared in Congress on the eve of Yom Kippur. Folks, I don't know what the hell is going on, but at the very least, there are some examples that popped up over the past 48 hours that indicate, yet again, American workers, American taxpayers are being used as pawns. Our money is being used in ways that we have zero say about what's happening. And at least from what the Friends of the Simon Wiesenthal Center reported and what we saw yesterday, there's some troubling stuff that needs more looking into. So, those are my 2 cents worth. What do you have to say about it? Put your information in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you like what you saw, click like, ring the bell, click subscribe. We really appreciate you doing all the things to help us grow. And hopefully we'll have some better news to report on different fronts later on in the week. But that's it for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.